Hey girl, it's Christine. So I know the summer is here and a lot of us don't really want to wear makeup, but those of us who do, I have the perfect summer look for you. It's literally your skin but better. You can wear it to the gym, you can wear it out, you can wear it to dinner, to lunch, whatever you want to do. Something nice for the girls who don't want to do a lot but still want to look presentable, put together, and not just like makeup. So let's jump straight into this routine. I usually use a concealer, but this has been giving me better coverage and it's just as light as concealer, so I've been using this. I'm 14 Cool. I am warm undertone, but this is honestly like a neutral. So it works for me. And it's also, I picked this because it does have good ingredients for your skin, because I'm not trying to wear makeup that makes my skin break out further. So this has actually been really good and it feels super light coverage. And just to apply, I'm going to do a few taps on my hand, warm the product up a little bit, and you can take any product that you want. And I like to start down here. I don't color correct. This is everyday. This is meant to be like a really quick everyday type of makeup look. So when it comes to makeup, I'm not really concerned about perfection anymore when I do my makeup. I just want it to look like an enhanced version of myself. So I'm not too focused on like hyperpigmentation or anything like that. I just kind of want it to look like my skin, but better. And so me doing just that side, see how it just looks like my skin? And I haven't even used the full pump yet, but I'm just going in really small sections to really spread out the product, because I noticed that when I'm just taking a whole pump and squirting it on my face and squirting on my face, it just ends up being too heavy. And we want it to be as light as possible. And I'm still using this same one pump, but I'm going above the mouth. And just take your time when you're putting it on. There's no rush. If you need to, if you notice that you have marks like from your brush, just go ahead and use a damp beauty blender and really just focus on the coverage right now, making sure we got a nice even layer all over our face. I really love this product, and this is without color correcting. Half a pump this time because we got the coverage that we're kind of looking for. I'm not going for full coverage. This is just skin but better everyday summer makeup. I'll go in and just tap. All right, so we are getting better coverage for sure. I don't really put too much product under my eyes, and I don't put too much on my forehead, just a little bit to just kind of even me out, because I do have a tan from being out of town and in the sun just walking every day. So just some light taps just to make sure that we're all evened out. And I go up to, when it comes to my eye, I go up to about here, because we're going to put some concealer under there, so we're not trying to have cakey under eyes, or else you're going to really start creasing. So I don't touch around there. So when it comes to concealer, I really love this Mario Surreal Awakening concealer. Love it, but I have gotten darker, so I do need to mix this a little bit with the foundation. And I need to re-up, honestly, so much of my makeup. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this on the back of my hand, like a literal dot, because I know what it's like to not have you know, the budget to go buy a whole bunch of million products. So use what you can when it comes to complexion. And then tap this on the back of my hand. And then I like to actually take a little brush like this, and kind of tap it on the back of my hand. Take a little bit more of this too. The back of the hand, and then tap underneath the eyes. So I'm gonna zoom in so you guys can see. But we are just going to tap. Don't focus on putting a whole bunch of product under there, because again, this is for summer. We're not trying to do the most. We just want some nice coverage, our skin, but better. So I'm just doing tapping motions with a brush just to apply the product. And then when it's warmed up on the back of my hand, tap, 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 just to apply it. And then I like to go about to here on my nose. And then I also, since we didn't color correct, like to go bring it down to right about here. And you see how this looks brighter, but it's not cakey and it's not creasy. That is what we're going for. So I'm gonna just go ahead and do the other side off camera. All right, so I went ahead and did that other side off camera, but our eyes are nice and bright. I like to go about to here on my nose. A good way for you to know exactly where to put the concealer on your nose is when it comes to the brows. I did do my brows off camera, but where the inner corner of your brows is, it should always begin right where the ball tip of your nose is on both sides. So that's where I started my brows, and that's where I brought my concealer, because that's going to be where I end up contouring. And I don't put foundation on my nose because I don't want for it to get like too cakey and everything to start breaking up and moving. So I got concealer down here under, right above my lip, and then under my eyes. And I just like to take a little tiny smidge on the forehead, because we're really just going for like that nice glowy skin but better look, but it's not too bright. That's why I like to mix my foundation or your concealer, whatever you use, so that way you don't have to worry about it look like you really tried that day. Like, it's always just, I like to look like just like a little bit of effort. Like, you don't want to look like you did too much. So after I applied that, I go in with this concealer brush to blend it out, because that did apply it to how I wanted it, but I need this to be able to really give me that blend that I'm looking for. So just to make sure we don't have any harsh lines, I'm going in and just tapping, very gentle taps. And if you have not cleaned your makeup brush, at least clean at the very least your concealer brush, because it's going to make your makeup apply so much better. And another tip that I did was go ahead and use a moisturizer right under the eye. And what a moisturizer does to me, in my opinion, it just makes my makeup apply a lot better underneath my eyes and prevents me from creasing, because I have just like some really good moisturizer, hydration on my face. And then I'm just making sure that I don't have any blend, like any harshness on there. So I'm just kind of like diffusing that into my forehead. And I'm pretty happy with how this complexion is looking. It's looking glowing. It's just like my skin, but better, which is perfect for summer. Right? Happy with that. And for bronzer, so you can go darker if you want. I use Huda Beauty, this stick. I like for a more bronze look. So I personally don't do too dark when it comes to this, because again, this is every day for summer. We're just trying to look like ourselves but better. So with the stick, you can take a brush. Let's do a brush, because I feel like a brush definitely less product, the better. You can always build on coverage, but you can't take it off. So if I were to just take this and just start drawing over my face, it may just be too heavy for what we're trying to do right now. So I have a little angled brush, and I'm just gonna go right around my forehead to just kind of warm it up, because we did go in with a little bit of a lighter color, and go right around the edges of my face. And I tap a little bit on it, kind of let the product warm up on the skin. And I'll just show you guys on this side. I like to just go up. See how that gives me a really nice bronzy look? My hair is in the way, but I'm not trying to show y'all my edges right now. So yes, this is what I'm looking for. And then if it kind of gets a little harsh, just take your time and continue to blend it into the skin. It's supposed to look like skin, but better. Happy with that. See that? And if you smile, that's about where I stop at the ball of my cheek. I didn't put concealer here, but I'm just kind of creating a, you know, nice little chiseled look here. And I'm really liking how that looks. Then I'm gonna go in with that same brush that I used to apply my concealer. Don't take any more product, use what's in the back of my hand for the darker color. Kind of press it into there. And then get it right on my nose, because we do lose some dimension when we're adding all of the lighter concealer. So just to add a little bit, I'm not trying to make my nose appear smaller, just add those shadows back into the face. Okay, I'm good with that. And then for powder, I honestly, guys, I really like to just not do too much with the powders in the summer, but I'm using this Hourglass Veil Concealer. Tapping it a little bit, and then just underneath my eyes, because to me, makeup looks a lot more natural when it's not very powdery. Just tapping right underneath the eyes so we don't crease here. So everywhere where you add concealer, ideally you would like to add powder so that you don't, and then just tap it off so that you don't move around. But I kind of like that glowy look in the summer. I just focus on setting powder on the areas that I know that I crease a lot, which is right underneath my eyes, on the sides of my nose, and then right around my mouth. Do like a little bit of a bright look underneath my eyes. So I'm going in with the Charlotte Tilbury, again, pressed powder this time. So first I set, and then I use a press, and then I'm just going to gently press right underneath my eye just to give me a little bit of brightness. Good with my complexion. Next, I'm going to, you can use a liquid blush. To me, I don't really see the point of using liquid in the summer. But I'm going to tap here. I got my Juvia's palette in the pink. Tap it on my hand so that I'm not creating too, it's not very pigmented pink. And then smile so you know where to apply it. And just a little bit of blush. The fluffier the brush, the better, because this will make sure that it's not all staying in one place. And I love blush. I would normally use more blush than this, but again, this is every day for summer. This is just, we just want to look put together and polished. I mean, if you want to, a little bit on the nose because it's summer, you can do that. Freckles would be really cute too, but I don't have any. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and use a airbrush setting spray. If I do look powdery, to me, this just makes my makeup look more fresh and awake. I'm gonna go ahead and spray. Ooh. And to me, that just makes my makeup come alive and just melt really well into the face. So my complexion is actually looking pretty good. I'm pretty satisfied with that. Next, I'm just gonna use a little bit of highlighter. Same palette that I use. Again, every time that you tap, just go ahead and do it in the back of your hand so that you don't have like this streak. I love it on the tip of my nose for a nice glow. And then, so the tip of my nose for a nice glow. And then on the cheeks. And I just like to put it right there. The tip of the brush, this angled brush, is better to just tap. And then, since it's summer, you can just kind of put it wherever you want, honestly. But I like to put it on my forehead and then a little bit on my chin. And for complexion, you could stop here. I don't really wear, to be honest, I'm not really into mascara so much, but if you want to add some mascara, we can go ahead and add a little bit of mascara or a lash if you really wanted to. I need new mascara, so. And honestly, it doesn't really look that good to me, on me. So if you want lashes, go ahead and apply them off camera. I'm not going to, but this is just what I do. I like to, if I ever have some little pimples or like, I just like to do it's cute, just add some little moles. Again, just take a little brush. Good enough for me. And then I use an SPF lip. So I was noticing that my lips were kind of getting like blotchy. So I use an SPF lip all the time. This one is Ultraviolet Sunscreen SPF 50 that I got from Sephora. And it really has helped my lip pigmentation a lot. And then I just go in with a little gloss. Then after that, we're pretty much done. This is nice. It's perfect for summer. I'll go in with one more spray. And that really, like, I feel like that second time really brings it all to life. And if you want your makeup to last, you could use this On Till Dawn Patrick Star, which we all know, really great product, but I don't really need it today. I'm not doing too much. Let me know if that was helpful and if we should do more tutorials. Bye.